E holo ana ma ke kai o kanaloa mai ka ili kai a o malahaya. Kupaia naha ke one one ne ui ka olu o ka malulu niu. He niu ka olana ka lani po ka I he ali I hiva hiva mai ka hiki mai. I ke maka I ka nani ka wahine hele mauna o kai ona noho I ka poli o kuala. Kuala ka onohi o ka aina he aina aloha o ai anai. Aloha ia no ai anai.
Oh, mahalo. You guys, they lifted the travel ban and we brought half of Waianae to come and share good news with you folks about what's happening in the region.
That's okay, we get security outside.
December 3rd, 2016, I found myself in a community learning center at Nanakuli surrounded by about 30 people from the community. And we were there for an event called the Financial Aid One-Stop Shop. And it was early Saturday morning, like 7:30. And there were people already in the parking lot and people peering at us through the window. But before we opened the doors to the public, we wanted to take a moment for ourselves to get grounded and centered about what the work at hand was. And so I had an opportunity to share some mana'o with the group at that time. And so I have a similar mana'o to share with you to kick us off for this pupa'akai. And the mana'o was this. In 2010, graduation rates on the Waianae Coast were in at around 55%. Said another way, if you were an incoming freshman that year, you had 50-50 chance of making it to graduation on time. But here's the thing. In 2015, by that time, graduation rates had increased to over 74%. What? Yeah. You guys, next week, class of 2017 will be graduating from high school and joining our ranks in the community as our local and global leaders. And signs and indications tell us that I think we're going to puka 80% this year. What? Impact like that is only possible when you bring together the collective intentions of a community, of a highly engaged community. And so today I have the absolute honor of standing here and sharing company with my esteemed colleagues, Andrea Diaz, Christy Sato, and Kini Pihana, to tell you about our work together with our community. Highly engaged community. Where did you hear that term before? Yo, just now? Collective efforts of highly engaged community, does that ring a bell? What? I heard somebody say it. Kohanauna. Yeah, hello, Kohanauna. Goal 2. That chaos will contribute to the collective efforts of highly engaged community. What does that look like? I think we have a pretty cool story to tell you from the Waianae Coast about what that looks like in action, where you take a goal and you turn it into action, and you take the action and turn it into impact. And so then I would like to turn the floor over to my colleague, Andrea Diaz. Before I do, though, when you came in, we gave you some collateral material and some wonderful little circular shapes. Those are pohaku. And we're going to tell you about the foundation that has been laid and the building that has happened since then. And so while you're listening to our story today, I'd like to invite you to reflect on these two questions up here. If you have some reflection, if you would note it down on those pohaku. So question number 1, in the work that you do, what are some ways you can contribute to this work? And thinking of your own personal assets and passions, how can you contribute to the Lahui building? And so with that, I turn the floor over to my colleague, Andrea, and she'll take very good care of you folks.
Aloha mai kako. O wao o Andrea Diaz no Mauna Loa Oahu mai au, noho au mawaiau. Kako o au I nau haumana I ka ho'omakaukau ana no ke kulanui. So aloha, mahalo for being here. So our mo'olelo today is framed in the ike of our kupuna. kalamai. It's not that straight, but we made sure this was really sticky so nothing fell off. So hopefully, o ke kahua mamua mahope ke kukulu. First the foundation, then the building. And I was reminded about this olelo no'eau at my son's kala ho'onui ike, and I see Davy, her daughter, is also in the same class. Our keiki go to ke kula kaiopuni o waiau. And so this olelo no'eau was shared, and the event happened like right before the Ho'omau concert. If you're familiar, that's when all the kaiopuni get together, and it's a fundraiser to raise money for kaiopuni because kaiopuni doesn't have a lot of resources, but they have a lot of aloha. So the design that was chosen for our kula was the ili ili pohaku. And one of our kumu shared that the ili ili pohaku is the kahua of a hale pili. Likewise, Olelo Hawaii is the kahua of all things Hawaii. Yeah. So as I thought about that, I wanted to share and to connect other mana'o. My kumu hula and my hula sisters in the audience taught us that things in Hawaiian culture happen in ekolu, happen in threes. So in thinking about this olelo no'eau, thinking about our kupuna and the fact that they created these paipai from Makai to Mauka, and they created these these pohaku structures and these hale pili, and just what a massive feat that was to be able to do that, and the focus and the discipline and the commitment and the strength it took for our lahui to build these structures. I think about our kupuna first. The second thing I think about is connecting to my own personal mo'olelo about choosing, or our ohana choosing a kaiopuni pathway for our son. Yes, it is wonderful, but it's really, really hard work, and it's a lot of commitment. And so for us, the vision and the hope is that he will be the first in our ohana to reclaim Olelo Hawaii. And so like the third mana'o I want to share with you has to do with the work that we do in the community, the hana nui that we do in the community. And all of it is really kind of based on this first, mana'olana. Yeah, who knows what mana'olana means? Hope, yeah? So it's really based, this is really the kahua of our work. It is the mana'olana, is the belief and the hope and the faith that all keiki, all haumana from the Waianae Moku deserve the best. Yeah, and it takes a village of support in order to provide those opportunities. And so many of you in this room have been a part of the work that we've done in the Waianae Moku. And so we mahalo all of you because we couldn't have done it without your kako'o. And so today is about sharing our mo'olelo, about the partners, the people, the haumana, the ohana that have brought a homegrown college-going culture to life. And when we say that, what we really mean is the people who have done this work in the Waianae Moku, they are from the Waianae Moku, they have roots, and we together, Kako, have worked, and it hasn't been easy, yeah, it hasn't been easy, but we've worked really hard, and we've committed to the students, and so this is because we have that mana'olana for them. So kind of moving on from that, the next part is there was a kahea. I believe there was a kahea that went out within the Waianae Moku, and Mona is going to read our kahea.
Too few Hawaiians on the Waianae coast are succeeding in college, career, and life.
Mahalo, Mona. So this might look familiar to you, right? This is like the Kapua Initiative kahea, but I believe that the different organizations that came together, this is all of our kahea. We just have different ways of saying it, yeah? So, so as this was our nokia hala, this was our why, this is why we started kind of just gravitating to each other. So I started working in Nanakuli specifically back in 2012, yeah? And so like what happens when you work in a community or you have a focus, my focus being college access and success, you start to kind of gravitate to each other, right? Like people who work in the same field, you just kind of start connecting with each other, and that's really what happened. And so I started to learn that there were many different organizations doing this kind of work. And so we started to connect. Some of us got along right away. Some of us collided together, and some of us just didn't, right? And so, and what it took was really getting to know each other, getting to know our motivations. As you know, Kamehameha doesn't have the best reputation in certain communities. And so I honestly felt the brunt of some of that, yeah? And so really trying to work with community for people to see you, yes, as a part of your organization, but more to see you for your heart and for how you care for students. So yeah, I just want to impress that we're all buddies right now, but we all didn't start that way. So just to be real about that, it wasn't all roses, but you know, like any kind of relationship, you build upon that and you give each other grace. And really what was key in our relationships was we worked together. So it was through the work that we really got to see that we weren't just waha, that we were action, that we really did care about the students and the families. And so that kind of helped us to move on to giving each other, I guess, more grace. So now we're going to move on to, before I get there, so the next Pohaku Nui, so our first Pohaku Nui is Mana'olana. Yeah, and we build upon that with Pilina, yeah, our connections, our relationships. And so here you have the 96792 Hui, that's our name, that's what we're called. And in this picture are my friends. Yeah, I'm honored to call them my friends. But they, before they're a part of their organizations, they are admissions officers, they are college and career counselors, they are outreach specialists, they are moms, they are dads, they are brothers, sisters, they are part of this community. And so with our relationships that we've developed over the years, we really are friends. We celebrate births and marriages. One of our members just recently had a baby and she emailed the entire group the picture of the baby and the name. And another one, Joe, he just recently got married. So those kinds of things where we really have a friendship, but it started in the work. And this is, yeah, this is us. So this is a 96792 Hui. And another picture to kind of capture our internal Huis that get together and we're a part of our financial aid one-stop shop. We have some familiar faces that are in our room today. And why I love this picture is because here are some people who were committed. It's okay. We're committed to the financial aid one-stop shops from the very beginning and saw the intentions and saw the potential of the event before any of us could see what would come of it. So we have our internal folks. And our 96792 Hui is made up of a collective of organizations. And so Shay is going to read those organizations to everyone.
So 96792 Hui partners are Waianae High School, Nanakuli High and Intermediate School, Kawaile Academy, METS, Teach for America, UH West Oahu, Leeward Community College, Waianae Moku, Hoa EP20, and Kamehameha Schools, Waianae Coast Region.
Mahalo, Shay. And so, and thinking about first the Mana'olana that we had in common, yeah, we were like-minded and like-hearted. We strengthened our Pilina together. We did different kinds of work together. We also have friendships together and celebrate who we are as people, as members of families. There are also ekolu reasons, I believe, that we have been able to be successful. And the first is our mission statement. So Jeanette will read our mission statement for everyone. Mahalo, Jeanette.
Aloha.
Aloha.
96792 mission. We, the 96792 Hui of the Waianae Coast, are committed to empowering our secondary students of our students than in the YNI community.
Mahalo, Jeanette. And so this really, this mission statement really has anchored our work. At times when, you know, we get excited and we want to do the next sexy, latest thing, we make sure and we question each other, does it align to our mission statement? Does it align to why we come together, why we work together? Because everybody in our Hui, right, they have regular full-time jobs within their organizations. And so we just want to make sure that the work that we're doing together really is leading to a collective impact for our community and is really in line with the reasons we Hui together in the first place. So that is our mission statement. The second reason that we have strengthened our Pilina and have been able to impact students is we see the students as belonging to all of us. We don't see the students as from Nanakuli High School, Waianae High School, Kamaile. We don't see it as the college and career counselor, that's her kuleana. We see it as a kako. It's all of our kuleana. And in doing that, we're able to eliminate silos and truly look at students and families as a community. And our ekolu reason is we have a laser light focus. Yeah, there's so many things we could have decided to do, but we decided to really focus on financial aid completion. And we chose that really because students that intend to go to college need to apply for financial aid, right? Need money to go to school. And especially in a low-income community like Waianae, often the myth is you cannot go because you have no money. But there is a lot of money that students can access. They just need to be directed in the right places, and they need that one-to-one support to know that they can finish and that there is a community of support around them. So these three things is kind of our ekolu reason for how we've been able to find success. We're not perfect and we have a long ways to go, but we are celebrating with the community and with all of you some things that that we're proud of doing. So okay, so now we're going to hear from one of our stakeholders, Remy Pagadawan. She is a Nanakuli High and Intermediate College and Career Counselor. So we're going to make like song contests. Okay, we're all going to like. Okay, I'm going on Ekahi Ilua Ekolu. I'm going to have everybody stand up, and then you're going to huli your chair, and then there's her video. Okay, you guys ready? Okay, Ekahi Ilua Ekolu. Okay, then you huli your chair around. Mahalo.
I'm Remy Pagadawan, and I'm the College and Career Counselor here at Nanakuli High and Intermediate School. So the 96792 Hui played a significant role because it's a team of individuals who care deeply and care greatly about the students on the Waianae Coast. Being able to come up with ideas and focus on problems that we see that we might be able to all come together and help out with is a good thing. So when we were looking at for this group, being able to work with this group with financial aid has been a blessing because I actually would be doing it all by myself, whereas we have a whole team of people working towards a common good, working towards a common goal, where we can figure out goals that we can reach and how we're going to attain it. So sitting with, we have our LCC partners, Kamehameha, we have the other schools, because we're all one body, I think of us as all one, coming to the table and being able to support each other. So if I have a FAFSA night, we can rely on each other on how we're going to get people out there, because it would just be me sitting there by myself, how we're going to get an expert out there to get these services out to students who really basically wouldn't know how to fill out a FAFSA application because perhaps their parents before them or guardians just they haven't done it before, so it's very new. And having all these individuals come together to support the kids helps greatly. Even being able to get the word out about the Hawaiian scholarships and having Andrea come out, talk directly to the parents, because that's a big deal, especially here in Nanakuli. Being able to connect and see a face and not just an email. I think the parents appreciate that a lot more, and they're more willing to come out, step out, and get those scholarships done. And I think we've seen that as part of the repercussions of all the work that the Hui has and is doing.
So when Remy was sharing about having a common goal, our next part of our presentation is going to be looking at the data. And so in our collective work, we really wanted to understand if our collective work was leading to results and leading to impact for students. So everybody got this? So this is our infographic. And as you saw in the video, the zoom in, so Nanakuli High School did really, really well with FAFSA this year. They had I think the second highest submission rate for FAFSA across the state. Yeah, yay! So 61% of the Haumana had submitted a FAFSA. So just to give a little bit more context to these numbers and what they represent and the barriers that students face in the Nanakuli and Waianae community, just so that you can really understand what this means is some students can't do FAFSA because their parents don't do their taxes, yeah? And so that's a big barrier. I just interviewed a student at Nanakuli High School who had stellar grades, stellar letters of recommendation, and she's not going because her parents didn't do their taxes and she can't do her FAFSA. So that's one hurdle. Many students are raised by their kupuna or not with their biological parents, and so you're talking about custodial issues and being able to do FAFSA and those kinds of things. Those are another barrier that our students face, yeah? So just some of those stories just to kind of help you understand what these numbers mean. So that what this infographic is illustrating is, this is the second year that the 96792 Hui, we did a Dollars for Waianae Scholars campaign. And so what it was is we kind of came together, and the campaign was to message a variety of different financial aid activities that were available for students throughout the community, right? So that's what you see in this timeline on the side. So that our financial aid Waianae Coast season lasted from October through February 2017. And we did different things like In Peace, one of our community organizations, they did a FAFSA party. Our schools, Waianae High School and Nanakuli High School, hosted FAFSA workshops, yeah? And all of these activities included, like Remy said, an expert, one-to-one support, somebody sitting with families and helping them complete it. And then you have our Waianae Coast FAOSS, which included FAFSA, of course, Naho'okama, our internal scholarship. We also help families with Keali'i Pauahi Foundation applications, Ho'olu Hawaiian Data Center applications, and then to remove barriers for Ohana so that they can focus and can complete processes. We also provided childcare and mea'ai at our financial aid one-stop shops. And for the first year, we hosted a Native Hawaiian Scholarship AHA. You might be familiar with that. It's a statewide event that's done where all the different Native Hawaiian scholarships hui together and they share scholarship opportunities with students. So it's the first year that we were able to do it at our Ma'ili Learning Center, and we're hoping that we can continue to host that. But that was a way, again, to draw in our community and to let them know, yes, in addition to Kamehameha, there are these other different kinds of scholarships that are available. So that was our Dollars for Waianae Scholars campaign. And so on the other side is kind of our results, yeah? And so when you look at the first graph, FAFSA submission and completion, this illustrates the 3 high schools within our moku, Kamaile, Nanakuli, and Waianae High School. And this is for this year, so the class of 2017. And so when we look at the green graph, it's submission, so which means that students started or almost completed a FAFSA, but did not complete. Yeah, they may not have completed, right? And then completion is right next to it, right? So what this tells us is that access is increasing in the community, right? And so more students are accessing FAFSA, and it's leading to higher completion rates. And so we believe that we had something to do with that. Yeah, we're really happy because the students are benefiting from it. So across the 3 high schools, there was an increase of 34% in FAFSA completion from last school year to this school year. Yay! And then right below that is an illustration of our Naho'okama-a-Pauahi data, which points directly back to the financial aid one-stop shops. And we definitely could not do this without all the internal kako'o that we have from financial aid, from Post-High, from Kamehameha Scholars, from Ho'olu Hawaiian Data Center, from Applicant Services Center, from Resource Center, from our preschools. It truly is a kako thing. Yeah? And so this data really is a direct result of that FAOSS, because here we're just capturing students that have walked through the doors of the FAOSS. And so the blue illustrates new students, so first-time applicants to Naho'okama. Yeah. The orange is those that got awards. And then the purple, right, the completion is the total amount that completed the scholarship. So if you see, like if you look at school year 13-14, and you see how that graph stacks like that, right? So 89 students were new, right? And that's something that we strategically want to target new students, and 99 total completed. So 89 out of 99 students were new applicants, right? And so just in looking at our numbers over time, we have increased Naho'okama completion 228% over the 5 years of the financial aid one-stop shop. Yay! Yeah. And so a couple more things to share. Oh, I forgot to put these pohaku on. No. Okay. Okay, so our one data point about increasing FAFSA completion, 34% from 2016 to 2017. And then an increase of 228% over those 5 years of financial aid one-stop shop. A new data point that we're starting to look at this year is looking at the number of students that come through the FAOSS doors compared to the total number of 96792 students that do Naho'okama. So what we learned this year is 33% of the overall 96792 students come to the FAOSS. And so the FAOSS is a two-day workshop of a 4-month season. And so we think that number is interesting, and we want to kind of continue to understand and learn about that, and just see what that might mean for programming in our region. Yeah. And then 2 more data points to share with you before I turn it over to Kini is we had an 11% increase in new first-time applicants from last year to this year. And we had a 25% increase in the number of students that were awarded the scholarship from last year to this year. So, yeah, yay! So yeah, and kind of sharing that data with you and that celebration, I'm going to turn it over to Kini, who is going to add a face and a mo'olelo to these data points. Mahalo, Kini.
Mahalo. Aloha mai kako o Kini ko inoa no Wai'anae mai au. Hanauma no ka Resource Center Makamoku o Wai'anae. And today I'd just like to share a success story from our FAOSS workshop. There's a lot of obstacles that some of our ohana face, and I just want to share a special one about this fella right here. His name is Levi, and this is his mama, Michelle. And they came to us, actually I first met Michelle, she came to our one-stop shop in Nanakuli, and she actually was looking for preschool assistants. And our community collaborators from IMPEACE had referred her over. And in talking story with Michelle, I found out that She actually has 8 children. Levi is the 3rd oldest, and she's a single mom raising the 6 younger children. So Michelle, I told her, you know, preschool, we don't have nothing yet for preschool, but I can get you started on Ho'olu Hawaiian Data Center. So I showed her the Hawaiian Ancestry Form. Anybody filled out this Hawaiian Ancestry Form here? Now, Mom was so ambitious that she wanted to do all 6 before she leaves. So I decided, oh, it's gonna take a while. Yeah, I'm gonna let that phone call ring. I'm gonna sit down with Mom, talk story with her. So she shared with me that Levi is really interested in going to college and he wants to go to the continent. But low income, single mom, she don't know how she's gonna make it there, not sure what scholarships are available. So I referred her to come back to our workshop. I didn't hear from Mom after we finished everything, so I thought everything was good. She calls like the week before the workshop and she's like, Levi got a reminder notice from Mrs. Tanaka at Waianae High School. She said this is an important workshop. Is it the same one as yours? I said, oh yeah, that's the same one. You should bring Levi. So she shares, Levi can't come, he's wrestling. I'm like, oh, you bring yourself. Don't worry, we'll have people there to help you. So she came, she got started with Naho'okama. We had someone sit with her. And she made it through Naho'okama, and just when she was finishing up FAFSA, Levi shows up. So we get to meet Levi. They work hard on filling out their FAFSA. And then we talked to them about Puahi Foundation. So they go into the Puahi Foundation workshop, and if anybody filled that application out, there's a personal essay that you have to write. So Levi, he got really emotional, and he's telling his mom, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, it's too hard, I got to talk about our family, our life. And Mom was like, we need you to do it, because that's how you're going to get money to go. So they were bickering in the workshop, and Mavis is like, it's okay, I can help you, I can help you. He starts filling out his essay, and then weird weather in Waianae, it started raining. And then the electric went down. Levi didn't get a chance to save. Oh. So his essay went, so he told Mom, no, for real, Mom, I'm going. I'm not going to apply for this one. And Mom's like, no, you cannot do that. Come, let's go eat. They have food. Come, let's go eat. So the mom take him over, feed him, bring him back. Mavis talks to him again. So he sits down, he finishes Puahi Foundation. So they got to finish 3 applications that day. Just about a week before notifications for Naho'okama goes out, Mom calls again and she's like, I need to know Levi is actually 5 students traveling from Waianae because he got accepted to Western Oregon. And we really want to make it to go with the rest of the 4 boys because we're going to have some family time before they have orientation. So I'm like, you know, you got to hold on one more week and you're going to find out what happens. Well, they were blessed enough that Michelle's 2 older sons had kokua them and blessed them with the funds to get there. And then Michelle called all happy when notification letters came out because she got the full award. And in addition to FAFSA, Naho'okama, they also got Puahi Foundation. And he was the only student that year that got the Makaloa scholarship. So Mom was extremely thrilled. And they also received a local scholarship from our PVT community. So that was their success. And I'm happy to report that Levi is enjoying college, and now he's part of the rugby team. So he got rugby, football, wrestling all under his belt. Michelle came back this processing season. She reapplied them for Naho'okama, and they were awarded again. So when I asked her, can I share this story? She was like, please do, and let them know about all the obstacles we got, how we made it through, and I wouldn't have been able to if I didn't know about the resources Kamehameha offers. So that's Levi and Michelle, our success story from our FAOSS. And I'd like to call up Christy to take us through another journey.
Aloha mai kako. Ovao Christy Sato no Mililani Maiao. Hanao Waianae Coast Region me ho'ahana. Aloha.
So we're kind of rounding out the third piece in this presentation. Like Andrea said, things come in threes, and you'll see a lot of that repeated today. What I wanted to remind us again is of our Olelo no Eao o ke kahua mamua ma hope ke kukulu. So what Andrea talked to us about was really the foundation that we've been setting over the past 5 years and intensely for 3 years working in the 96792 Hui. So the Pilina, the relationships that they've built, that Andrea's built with external partners, that we've built with all of you internally to do our financial aid one-stop shops, that Kini has built with families, because if you come to Waianae, everybody knows Kini. you're like, go see Kini, and they're like, oh yeah, Kini. Kini, I need help for my financial aid. Kini, I need help with my applications. Kini. So I can see why Michelle was super happy to share her story, because Kini was there throughout that process. So it's definitely the relationships that we have in the community, but we just want to remind everyone it is Hana Nui. It is hard work. Like Andrea said, it wasn't overnight, it wasn't all roses, but it's definitely in part to the people. Andrea is steadfast in this group. They'll tell you that they appreciate, maybe in the beginning, right, it was a little rough, but they appreciate her now fully, and they always comment on that. And it's such a 180 to see sometimes those comments that they make, like, oh, we love the way she facilitates, and she's just committed. Right, so it's really about that, the commitment that we made. And again, mahalo to all of you for participating in the hard work. And then, so what now? So we've had a laser light focus on financial aid, and we've been doing our financial aid one-stop shops, and we will continue to do that this upcoming season. But the Hui and we are also thinking about what next. So if you can remind yourself of the 2 questions there, these are planting some seeds on in your work, what you can contribute to the work in Waianae. One of the things, in addition to getting students to submit and complete the financial aid process, maybe it's about looking at what does the whole financial aid package look like for the family. So now you have your award letters, you're getting FAFSA. What do you do with all that information? And how do you make the best decision for your ohana? What is the right school? What is the best financial aid choices? So maybe that would be a next step that we would take. And then also the Hui decided that they wanted to focus on ohana engagement. Our families, it's a tight-knit community. And so they decided on their own, like, we want to get families more involved. And what that looks like is still to be decided. But maybe some of you have worked in or with families or have some strategies around that. So we just shared with the Hui some of the work that we do at the Learning Center. We do Board and Stone with families. We have Olelo Hawaii classes with families. So we gave them that back as an example of how we engage the community, but they are also looking at ways of bringing more families to school, getting them more involved on campus. So that's kind of the next place that they're going. So you have your pohaku. You can answer one or both of the questions today. And we invite you to, if you would like, to write your name on it, sign your commitment to that, and then come put it on our sticky wall before you leave today. And then we just wanted to end, I know it was like a stand up and flip, but we do have the last piece of Rami's video to share, and however you want to turn yourself around to watch that video, if you just want to shift in your seat, that works. But again, Rami, she is, has true heart for her community. So we just wanted to end with that.
Okay, so I think one of the neat things was when one of the students had mentioned that she was definitely going to be doing her taxes because she needed the taxes to be done for the FAFSA. Because for whenever she has a child, then her child will be ready and set so that her child can complete the FAFSA application. And for us in this room, but when we heard that, we thought, wow, we're actually changing generations. So whereas before, where there's a lot of obstacles and things that are going on, these kids, like I said, they're seeing beyond. They're now seeing beyond than what their parents saw before. And they're like making sure that, you know what, when my kid is ready to go to college, I'm going to make sure I'm going to do this, this, and this. Things that we might think is simple, but it takes a little bit more for others. That she was saying, you know what, I'm going to get this done so that whatever future child she has, she's going to be able to help her child out in that way. So I thought that's such a neat thing, because the work that we're doing, although we might not see it right now, in future generations to come, we're going to be able to see the growth and the development of all the things that we're doing right now. I'm passionate about this work because I love the people, I love the students. I've been here for 10 years, and I have fallen in love with this valley. I see how great these kids are. I see the potential. I see hope. And I see it way more than any place I've ever seen. With these students getting an education, going out there, getting their post-high school diplomas, I just think these kids, these people with heart, with loyalty, with compassion, I just imagine a world a better place. Because I think over here, they're so strong in love. And when you put a degree to that, when you put an education to that, and I imagine them as individuals out there in the workforce, out there making changes, out there being better because of right now what we're dealing with where we're going. I just think these are the types of people, these are the types of kids that you want out there representing all of us. And so, and I feel that way for a passion just for Nanakuli. And I know that others feel for other places, but for me, I want to see these kids excel, do well, change the world.
Change the world, they will. So I have apologies to make. I apologize, Fab. We'll be sending more applications your way. EIMS, sorry, we got to get some new data points for Waianae because things are changing. Look out, Hawaii, Waianae is coming. You guys, this is the team just wanting to bottle some of the awesome experiences that we have out in the region. And we've come home to you to share that spirit, to share our Mana'olana with you folks, because we know that you guys here are stoking the fires here at home, processing our requests and our paperwork and strategizing and measuring and doing all those wonderful things. Your work matters. We need your kohaku here to, further fortify the kohua that has been built in the community. So I thank you for all of your good work. I thank you for your contributions. The team and I are happy to take any questions or mana'o that you might have. So I open the floor up to folks.
What kind of things are you thinking of doing to increase the participation rates that you've been able to do?
Oh, great. So I think a little bit, Christy touched on that, where, we've been following a cohort. So they're class of 2017, they're graduating from high school this year. And so, we're still watching to see, are they going to enroll in college, and, are they going to complete? And so we're kind of thinking pretty systematically through their trajectory there. And then we're going to use our lessons learned and kind of some of the information that we collected in our relationships through 96792 Hui around building out the financial aid package, maybe looking at some family engagement pieces. And I wonder if Andrea or Christy, you have some other ideas about what we're going to be doing to further increase numbers or reach or impact. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think with what Christy was sharing around Ohana engagement, we don't know specifically what that's going to look like, but we know that's super important. Yeah, it's super important to get families involved. So, like Christy was sharing, I think looking at what's already worked in our community and the kinds of programs that engage families is a starting point for us. And then because this group is focused on college access and success, then how do we integrate that into it, right? But I think what's more important is just engaging Ohana together and having that space with each other So I think that universally is more important. Before we can get to the content, we have to really get to the heart of the people. And so I think one thing that's worked with the Financial Aid One-Stop Shops is we worked with the staff that had relationships with students, yeah? And those key people brought those students through our doors. Yeah, so I think it's continuing to do more of that. Because besides our learning center, none of us in the Waianae region run programs, yeah? So it's our relationships with stakeholders that have relationships with students. And so to continuing to build that, because students love their counselors and their teachers, they will come. Yeah, so I think it's kind of strategizing around those things, but definitely focusing on families and yeah, just seeing how we can help to remove the barriers and the fears that families have around doing their FAFSA, around applying for scholarships. And so one thing that the group did identify is we have to start earlier. Yes, that's one thing. Sorry, I just remembered that. So we have to start earlier, which means in building this college-going culture that has to start, really it should start in 7th grade, but you know, we're looking at 9th grade. So how do we work with families earlier so that when they get to their senior year, they understand the process, it's not so intimidating, they have the relationships with the counselors and with the staff of the school, you know, so we've come to that, I think, is that the work. Because right now the work is really focused on juniors and seniors in the community, so we have to start earlier. Yeah. Sorry, I hope I answered your question.
Cool. Any other questions?
I was just thinking back to the first story you shared about the student whose parents did not file their taxes. And I was just curious what supports are there from the community that help. I know you guys are looking for first year fall enrollment, and if someone's going to miss that enrollment, due to their parents' tax status, are there programs that persist to help them get enrolled into college over their time?
Yes, definitely. And on the tax side, there are like community organizations like VITA that provide tax assistance and stuff like that. I think we really have to understand, I think it does go back to having a relationship with the family so that there isn't this fear of sharing personal information with strangers. Yeah, that's what it kind of boils down to. And so, yeah, there is that support. The counselors always have open doors. Our LCC Waianae Moku partner, they can always enroll students at different times. I think it's removing the barrier of how are you going to pay for it? Yeah, how are you going to pay for it? And so I think we have to start there, and then to help connect those dots to getting them enrolled. Yeah, because it's a big indicator of enrollment is financial aid completion.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the taxes too, so still that question, but maybe kind of building off that, like from a DOE perspective, how are you guys, on one hand I'm thinking, okay, just get the DOE to literally hand out the FAFSA as the kids walking out of the class, like very practical, and I'm sure you guys have kind of explored all of these. What are maybe the challenges there? Is there certain things where, okay, well, we can't tell exactly how DOE, can you just pass out the FAFSA form as they're walking out of their last period, or is it, what are some of the kind of more tangible or potentially outside the box ideas you guys are considering as how do we just physically, they're all in a contained space at an auditorium, we can do a little jump in there and do a little session or whatnot.
For me, you can jump in. I feel like the FAFSA commit the child to the parent. That's why we can't send the FAFSA home as much as we like. Half of them will make it home, the other half will make it home, and none of the bottoms of that. But I'm 8-year-old, and that's what happens already. And so there's a little bit of that. I'll confess a little bit, like in the early years, yeah, Andrea, I remember kind of got in trouble.
We did taxes earlier.
We did taxes. You used to be able to come in W-9 and you had 6 hours, you could go get your taxes done. We had a trailer for the taxes. We had partners to do the taxes, but I think it's kind of finding out ways to be, that's creative, is actually literally having a one, like you just show up with your W-9.
Yeah.
And then we'll just take you one day. You lunch and like finding locations that will enable us to do those kinds of things, finding partners and kind of doing some scheduling and coordination for those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, that's
We don't want to talk to them.
Yeah, we don't want to talk to them.
Why don't we get a pop-up there on the side of the road?
If you want to find out how we can, let us know. I think I would add to that. Our GUI has been exploring how do we get all the families that come out for like sports in YNI? How do we capitalize on that? And we brainstormed that a lot, but we just haven't moved that forward. We definitely know there is potential there. We've talked about having a booth at a football game and doing FAFSA there. You know, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, so we have lots of ideas on how to do it. But yeah, so how do we take there's a strong sports culture in YNI. How do we capitalize on that and then connect that to FAFSA? So if you have ideas, put it on your Pohaku and let us know. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, mahalo. It's like really great stuff going on, and so there's like awesome stuff that you guys are doing. So mahalo for all of the work you guys are doing. The one thing I was thinking about, like with respect to like the success that you guys are experiencing at the financial aid one-stop shop. In your guys' experience, have you guys ever met like those non-traditional learners, maybe adults that have come in? And I know there's a huge impetus behind, you know, juniors and seniors, and rightfully so. But for other adult learners, right, the light bulb comes on later. Maybe they get displaced because of technology and whatnot. So have you guys been supporting those kind of, or thinking about those pieces?
Yeah, definitely. We get a lot of non-traditional learners come through the doors. A lot from LCC, YNI Moku. Yeah, so it's a pretty significant population of students.
We take anybody.
Yeah, we take anybody. Yeah, we take anybody. Yeah, we've had like previously incarcerated, re-entering society, going back to school. We've had all kinds of students. But yeah, LCC YNI brings in a big non-traditional population.
One of my favorite experiences is I was at the most recent financial aid one-stop shop, and I was standing next to Mona, and Mona saw kind of a repeat customer, and the guy was like, "Hey, Mona, hi there, I'm back again. This will be my last year now." I was like,
Sorry, I forgot to mention, we have a more thorough report of our financial aid one-stop shop over there on the table for those of you who are interested. And it does break down, the populations that we have as non-traditional students for high school. So that's there for you.
We've what's so wonderful is Resource Center. We had some Neighbor Island people come from KS Resource Centers to kind of help and kokua, but also kind of take notes and kind of think about how to replicate these events and some of the other things. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Any last questions? Thoughts, comments? Hey, again, thank you kindly so much for your time.